Hey there, everybody. My name's Andy Hunsaker, comics editor for Crave Online, and I'm going to be talking in a couple minutes to Scott Snyder, the writer of Batman, the writer of Swamp Thing, and he's going to be the co-writer of a new Batman spin-off called Talon, which comes out of the big Court of Owls story he's doing. I'm going to ask him about The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to ask him about all those things I just told you. First off, the big talk is all about Dark Knight Rises. What do you think of that as the writer of Batman in the comic verse, about the Batman, the Christopher Nolan trilogy in general?
I have like 2 friends now that have seen it internally at Warner Brothers and say it's the best one, which is, I was sort of like, how could it possibly be better than Dark Knight? But they say it's true, and they're people I trust.
How tied into Batman is Talon going to be, or is it going to be its own thing for a while?
It's going to be its own thing for a while. I mean, the way it came about really was that while I was doing the Court of Owls, DC approached me about the possibility of doing a spin-off, and I really didn't have an idea for it. I had a lot of material about the court that I thought would be extremely fun and dark and sort of twisted to reveal, but in terms of the actual story or character, I didn't have anything in mind that wouldn't, to my mind, milk it in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. So I really turned it down, and then my co-writer on the Batman backups, James Tynan, the fourth, came to me and said, I have this idea for a series or a story about a Talon who was one of the assassins. He was an employee of the court, and he actually escapes, and he's been on the run for years. The court's been hunting him. He's the one guy that ever got away, and his skill set, he was an escape artist in the circus when they found him, so he has this really cool skill set in terms of this kind of running theme of escape throughout the entire series, where he just can't seem to get away from the court no matter where he goes.
With Swamp Thing, you're about to do this gigantic crossover with Animal Man called Rotworld. So you and Jeff Lemire are working on that. How is that, working with Jeff, bouncing back and forth, creating this thing?
It was a huge pleasure getting to work with him on this thing. His imagination, his storytelling, I mean, I admire him, and I'm inspired by Animal Man all the time. So for me, it really was something exciting to get to see what he does and try and up my game on Swamp Thing. And what you're going to see is a DCU completely transformed. You know, you're going to see your favorite characters in horrifying new ways. It's really going to be a window into a world won by the Rot.
I heard you say in other panels that some characters you might expect to be involved are going to be involved.
Yeah, but only internally. I want to be really clear, because we wanted to make sure that this is an event that really only happens in our 2 books and Frankenstein, because Matt Kindt is one of our best friends too, and Frankenstein was a character that we thought would really fit.
Is there any chance Batman might show up in the Justice League Dark at all?
I don't know about Justice League Dark. I know he's showing up in Rotworld, so you'll see him, and you'll see a very transformed Gotham coming up. And it's fun because you get to do Swamp Thing in Gotham, and some of my favorite stories from the past involve Swamp Thing in Gotham, from Alan Moore and everything like that. So I'm very excited to do that.
Going back to Batman, about transforming Gotham, the Joker's on his way back.
Oh, yeah.
How much of a force is the Joker going to be in the upcoming Batman stories?
It's going to be like a Joker book. I mean, he's coming so full force. I mean, the idea was essentially to remove him for a year so that he'd have time to plan and set his traps and gas up his chainsaw and all that kind of stuff to get really ready to come back and wreak havoc on the Bat family. So for me, it's a story that began when I collaborated with Tony Daniel on how to sort of remove him, and we came up with a couple different options. The one Tony liked the best was the removing of the face, and that element really fits right into the story I want to tell, because the Joker almost does that deliberately to say, I'm trying to make a point, here's my face, I'm coming back, I'm picking it up, and I'm coming back to teach you exactly why I have an axe to grind, Batman, because you betrayed me. I serve you as your villain, as a court jester to a king in some ways. And the idea is essentially that I deliver the worst nightmares of your heart to life for you to fight to become stronger. And instead, you've surrounded yourself with people that make you fat and lazy and slow. And so I'm going to burn everything to the ground. I'm going to show you why each one of them doesn't deserve your company or to sit at your royal table. It's going to be completely self-contained in Batman, and the other books will be self-contained too. But you will see Joker in Nightwing, Batman and Robin. One of my favorites is actually he's coming to Teen Titans to get Tim, which will be good because we're bringing Tim back to Gotham. You'll see him in Catwoman. It's going to be really like hell on earth for these characters, especially Barbara and Jason and the ones that have this very bad history with him, where he can say, the Killing Joke was just me going for your dad, Barbara. I wasn't going for you. Now I'm going for you. I'll kill and burn and mutilate everybody around you to break you, and then I'll kill you. You know, and I'll laugh about it.
That's the Joker, the most terrifying Bat villain there is. Well, thank you very much, Scott, for taking the time out to talk to us. We really much appreciate it.